Hello everyone, welcome back to Algo Daily. In this particular video, we are discussing LeetCode daily problem of the day, count servers that communicate. And in this problem, we have to given a map of server center. This is represented as M cross an integer matrix grid, and where 1 means the server cell is present, and the 0 means there is no server. And two servers are set to communicate if they are on the same row and the same column, and we have to return the number of servers that communicate with any other server. And so we have to given a condition of if two servers are communicate when the same and the servers are present in the same row and the same column. So here in the example one, this server is our 0 index, and here the row in this row there is no any server, and here the column there is no any server, and same thing for this server. So we have to return their answer 0 because no servers are communicate with each other. And so now let's look at their problem statement, and then we have to workflow their example test cases. So here we have to given a 2D grid, and this grid represent as a server, and each cell contains either 1 and either 0, and this one is server is present, and server is not present, and these two conditions we have to given. And one thing is two servers communicate when first in the same row, and the second one is in the same column, and these two are present on their server communication. Okay, and then we have the goal. Our goal is to count how many servers can communicate with at least one other server. Like how they communicate, let's suppose this is a grid, and this here server is present, and here not present, here present, here present, here not present, and here not present, and here also not present, here present, not present, here present, present. And then we have to check with these conditions, like in this row they are communicate with each other here. Okay, so here communicate with each other. So then we have to count the server that are calculate with each other, like here row wise, and here row wise they are connected with each other, but column wise any other not any other server are connected, or no communication with other server. And so our problem statement we have to identify, and then our goal is, so the goal is we have to return the total number of servers in the grid can be communicated with at least one other server based on their criteria. This is our criteria, uh, these two, and we have to return the number of servers, that are communicated with each other. And so now let's look at their idea. And so first we have to track row and column values, and in this row and column values, first calculate the number of servers in each row and each column. First we have to each row and each column we have to check with all the servers are present or not, and how many servers are each row and each row and each column are there. And the second one, we have this: if the server is in a row or in a column with more than one server, it can be communicated. Like if the server a row is a row and is a column with more than one, like greater than one, and so it can be communication established. And the second scenario we have here, we have to find their final count. How we count the final, and we have to iterate over the grid. And this grid, uh, in this grid, every server check if the count of server in its row or its column is greater than 1, or you can say greater than equal to 2, and so that we have to count this. So now let's look at their example, first test case, so you can understand easily. So first here we have this position. Here the robot is present, so sorry, the server is present. So here is 1, here is 0, here is 0, here is 1. So in this row there is only one server is present. Here this row, here is only one server present. And you can also check with column form. Here this column only one server is present, and here this column only one server is present. So you can also check with this condition. We have also determined there, if the grid count is greater than 1, and we have to establish their connection. So here we cannot establish any connection because here is count is not greater than 1, and so that's why uh, the count of connection establishment is 0, and no any other server is connected with each other. And so same thing for this one. So this is our last example, for example I guess 4. And yeah, in this example we have to iterate with how we can iterate with row and column cells. So now here we have their um, server is present, here the server is present, and here not server is not present, here not present, here not present, not present, present, and also here is not present, not present, not present, not present. Okay, so this is our this is our uh, iterations for how many servers are present and they are communicate. And so first we have to communicate with this 0 comma 0, 0 comma 0, and so this 0 comma 0 value is 1, and we have to plus our row and column value, uh, row plus plus and column plus plus. And so our row is 1 comma 0 comma 0 comma 0, because first we have set all these values with 0, and here 1 is present, so then we have to iterate with this one. So here is 1, and remain are 0 0, and same thing for column is column is also become 1 1 0. So this is our first iteration, and the second iteration we have 0 1, this 0 1 0 1 also we communicate, and here is server is present, so we can communicate with this one. So that's why here the count is 2 0 0 0, and the column is remain same, column is same. And the third iteration we have there 0 comma 2, this is our 0 comma 2, 0 comma 2 we have no change, so this remains same and this remain same. And the fourth iteration 0 comma 3, this 0 comma 3 again there is no any server present, so that's why the values are same. And this is our first iteration. Okay, first iteration. And now let's look at their second iteration. This second iteration, we have their value of 1 comma 0. First we have to look, this is our 1 comma 0, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2 and 1 comma 3. And this 1 comma 0, 1 comma 0, we have no any server, and here is also no any server and no any server. So here we have in 1 comma 0, here is no change, so that's why the same value are getting here. And so in next iteration we have one second, sorry, one second. So here also be a server is present, so that's why, yeah, okay. And the second one, there is no any server, we have remain same values. And the third iteration, there is a server is present, and the server is 1 comma 2, the server is present, so here is 2 1 0 0, and here is 1 1 1 0, yeah, 1 1 1 0. And this is our row iteration, this is our column iteration. And so 1 comma 2 is already we have to change, and 1 comma 3 is no change, so that's why the values are remain same. And so this is our second iteration. Now let's look at their third iteration. And this third iteration, we have their values, here is not present, not present, present and present, not present, sorry. And so here we have 2 comma 0, 2 comma 1 and 2 comma 2 and 2 comma 3. So now 2 comma 2 is the server is present, so here no change, we have their values, so 2 1 0 0 and 1 1 1 0, and this is our 2 comma 0. And so now 2 comma 1, 2 comma 1 is again no any server is present, so this is remain same. And 2 comma 2, the server is present, and so that's why uh, we have to row 2 of plus plus and column 2 of plus plus, so that's why the values are here 2 1 1 0, and here we have the change of 1 1, here we have to change, so that's why the count of this one is plus plus, so this becomes 2 2 and 0. And the last one is we have 2 comma 3, there is no change, so this remains same, this remains same. And now let's look at their fourth iteration. This fourth iteration, the values, here the last one is present, so that's why all these are not present, so here 3 comma 3 is present and no any other are present, so the values of 3 comma 0 is no change of 2 1 1 0, and this becomes 1 1 2 and 0. And same thing for 3 1 3 2 3 3, and this one will be 1 1 2 and 0, 2 1 1 and 0, 1 1 2 and, so here the server is present, so we have to increment row count and column of 3 plus plus, and the values becomes 2 1 1 1, and this become 1 1 2 1. And so now we have to get, we have last iteration, we have to get this value, and the value is the row value is, and this is our column value. So the row value we have 2 1 1 and 1, and this becomes 1 1 2 and 1. So now we have to count the servers that are communicate, like where the communication is established. So first we have this this one. Okay, 1 second. 0 comma 0 we have to communicate with server 2, and so this one will be our communicate, and this one will be our communication, this one. Okay, and 1 comma 2 is also be communicate here, this 1 comma 2, and after that the communication of like 2 comma 3 is also be communicate here, like this one. Okay, and the last is we have to communicate with yeah, only these are our communication. You can also check, yeah, this one. Okay, so here we have to communicate with this one and this one and this one. And so what the cells are we have to get, the cells are 0 comma 0 is communicated, and the second one 0 comma 1 is communicated, and that 1 comma 2 is communicate, and this 1 comma 2. Okay, this 1 comma 2 and this 2 comma 2 is communicate. So these four cells are communicate with each other, so that's why the answer become 4. We have their count is 4. Okay, and you can also be their iteration. We have also here we have 1 2, and the same thing is 2, and then 3, and then 4. Okay, and they communicate, this is communicate, this is communicate, and this one is also be communicate, and this one is communicated, and these are not communicate. So then the count of yes is 1 2 3 and 4. So the answer is 4. Yeah, so the answer is 4. So I hope you understand how we iterate with each and every cell. And so now let's look at their coding part. So first we have their answer of 0. This answer of 0 generally initialize with their result. We have to store the result, and here we have to track server count for each row and column. So that's why we have to initialize row and column, and then we have to step 1, this is our step 1. This step we have to count server for each row and column, and this one we have loops, this loop for row and this loop for column, and this grid of ij is if the server is present. If the server is present, then we have increase the row and count column value. And so this is our step 2. This step we have to iterate the grid dot size and grid I dot size. This is our row and this is our column. And so if grid of ij and this condition become is if the server is present, if server is present, and so then we have to check if row of ij, sorry, row of I is greater than of 2, like row has more than one answer, it means this is communicate. Like first we have 0 comma 0, like all these are our 0 0, and you we also check there if there is server and there is server, so we can communicate with this one, so this become 1, and we have to communicate with this one, this become 1, and once they have communicate with each other, then 1 plus 1 is 2, and same thing for this one will be 2. So that's why we have to use this if condition if row of I greater than equal to 2. So we have to increase our count or answer, and then and then same thing for our column, and then we have to return their answer. And I hope this is the simple iteration based code. You can also optimize with the using union find then, and you can also use map for all these positions, and you have to find count their frequencies. And so now uh, let's look at their complexity analysis part. And first we have their time complexity, and then each row and column we have their O of m into n loops, and these loops where the number and row columns are present. And the same second for loop we have same for O of m into n, and the total is O of m into n. And this is our time complexity. And the space complexity of this code is, we have a row vector, this is O of m, and the column vector O of n. So the total is O of m plus n. So this is our space complexity. So I hope you understand the logic and the implementation part and how we track these values. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much.